Well, it's fascinating to make your own liquor-filled chocolate shells. It's possible that you can do it at home. And these chocolates are really wonderful. Inside they are liquid and they have a very, very thin sugar crust. And afterwards they are put into liquid chocolate, which solidifies, and then you have a perfect chocolate, which you cannot buy, you can only make them yourself. Well, all you need to begin with is a wooden box, which you make yourself. It should fit into your oven, so take the size of a tray and make a wooden box. And what you need is a mixture of starch, 2 portions of cake powder and 1 portion of cornstarch. You take a strainer and you sieve it until it's very smooth. So fill your box very well, then put it into the oven to let it dry for about 8 hours at a temperature of 60 degrees Celsius. After 12 hours you take it out again. Then you take a wooden bar to make a very smooth surface. And then you use plaster molds and press them into the starch. I made those plaster molds myself and I mounted them on a wooden bar. So press it down very gently to make nice molds, which you will fill later with the liquor. You can choose any shape, whatever you like. Now you have to make your own liquor, which is 375 grams of sugar and 150 grams of water. You boil it, and when it reaches 107 degrees Celsius, it's just right. After about 5 minutes, when it has cooled down, you can add the alcohol. Mix about 3/4 of sugar liquid with 1/4 of alcohol. It depends a little bit how much sugar the liquor contains. If it's a very sweet liquor, you have to take more. If it doesn't contain any sugar, you take less. What is very important and what really counts is now your measurement. You need to check the density of the liquid. And for that you have a special instrument called Baume scales. And then I put it in a very high jar. So as it sinks down, it really should stop at 32 degrees. And that's very important, otherwise you will not succeed. So 32 degrees Baume, what we call it, is just right. When I have a special instrument to fill the molds, but of course you can take all sorts of little cans. That's how I started with. So you fill it right to the top, that it's really well filled, and you'll see it won't sink down. You can use different liquids like blue curacao, all you like. It's really possible with almost any liquor. So the liquid will stay in the molds and get a very dry surface, so that inside it will stay liquid and outside you'll get a very thin sugar crust. So it's important that you cover it up again with the mixture of corn starch and cake powder. So take a strainer and cover it so that you don't see it anymore. You can cover it for about 1 centimeter. It it's just fine like this. And when it needs to rest for 12 hours, very sweet liquors sometimes need a little bit longer, up to 24 hours. But here you see me, after 12 hours I checked it and I turn it upside down because the top will be thinner than the bottom, and in order to have a regular sugar crest you need to turn it upside down. So after another 6 hours I'll check it and you'll see it's perfect. A very thin sugar crust, and so dust it off. And now that's the part that you dip into chocolate later. You see the air bubble inside? Okay, be very careful. These are very fragile. You can also take a strainer if you have many of the same size to speed it up a little bit. So I put them on the strainer, and that's how I dust them off. Now you need tempered chocolate at about 31 degrees Celsius for dark chocolate. You dip them into the chocolate by turning them upside down, getting them right under the chocolate, taking them out again, and then carefully putting them down. After 2 minutes the chocolate starts to solidify if it's well tempered, and you can decorate it with flowers, with gold, with nuts, whatever you have, whatever you like. That sort of thing you can't usually buy. You can only make it yourself. Enjoy it and have fun.